Final Approach. This is Dan Bear Pig. This is the second stream I have done in this game. And before I really get started, I want to take care of a little bit of business here. I'm looking into adding some things like overlays so that I don't miss follows and other alerts. Fortunately, everyone who has followed me so far are people that I know from elsewhere, so I think I'm pretty safe, but I want to shout out anyway. We have Ostiost, Maurice, Satan, Cinemonkey, Druge, Shipwreck, Sophos, and Supreme Doom. These are people generally that I know from Bruno's Minecraft community, as well as elsewhere on Minecraft. Ostiost has a community. So thank you for following, guys. Alright, let's see where we're at here. I've got some a basic overlay set up, so hopefully if there are any follow alerts, I will see them, but no guarantees. We'll see. I'm going to work on some of my own as well. But let's go ahead and jump right into this. I've got a couple of hours, and here it is, Stock Final Approach. Got the same mods as last time, mostly just visuals. Environmental visual enhancements and scatterer with the default configurations. I've got Kerbal joint reinforcement and Kerbal engineer redux. And, excuse me, and I believe that is it. So, where we left off, I think this is the technology that I had just researched, basic science. So that gives me batteries, gives me the Science Junior. Okay, actually I've already launched one of those. I haven't opened this game since that last run. This is the one, general construction. So I've got struts, which means I can do auto strut now. I've got another decoupler. I've got the launch stability enhancer, which is great. And I can put stickers on my spacecraft now. So that should be awesome. All right, let's take a look at the contracts. High G Adventure, I'm not sure I want to do that quite yet. Observational surveys of Kerbin. So if I am in flight, okay, these are all above. Okay, that makes it relatively easy. This gives a pretty decent advance. Some decent science if I complete it. I have to get some specific locations though. Crew reports in flight. Expires in 3 days. I might take that. This one is all below, so I'll want to do this with an airplane most likely. And I have a ton of trouble with planes. Test the Terrier at the launch site. Ooh, that's easy. Science data from space around Kerbin. Okay, this one. I am definitely going to take this one. And my other active contract is to explore the moon. And last time I came up with a rocket design that can certainly get to the moon. We crossed the moon's orbit, though we were nowhere near where the actual moon was in that orbit at the time. So I think I'm going to launch that rocket again. Let's take a look at it. Okay. Oh, these are from old games. Yeah, I can't even load those here, but this was from me. I mentioned I have trouble with planes. These were SSTOs that I was studying to see if I could figure it out. But this is the one. Load. Okay, and how are we for restrictions? We're at the max number of parts, so I can't add anything here. Fortunately, I already have 2 fireworks launchers. So, oh right. And I had clipped my boosters into my fins, so let's fix that right now before anything else. There we go. That is a lot more sensible. We didn't have any trouble with it, but still. Okay, so tomorrow is July 4th, Independence Day in the United States. So I think let's be honest, I was going to mess with the fireworks anyway, but I definitely want to now. And this is not correct. I think I found last time that there was kind of a bug. It's not accurately showing what my colors are. Let's see, launch velocity. Remove from symmetry. Okay, so if I remove this from symmetry, then I can change the color here. Yeah, these are gold. Well, this is gold, the rest is blue if I recall. So let's make this white. And let's go blue. Let's go a nice dark blue, and the crackle, let's make that a very, very light blue. And if we take a look at these, that's the start, and this is the end. Let's make these red. But have it end darker. There we go. Excellent. So I don't know quite how that's going to look, but maybe it'll be something patriotic-ish for Independence Day. Let's see. Let's look at the action groups, make sure I know what those are. 1 is antenna, 2 is all my science except for the crew report, and 10 launches the fireworks. Let's actually... These are removed from symmetry now. So let's change it so that it's 9 and 10. And this one, let's take that one off. Which one is this? That's this one? Okay, perfect. So if I make 9 this one, launch. Okay, perfect. I'm going to save those changes. And let's have a look. Before I launch, let's have a look at where we are in orbit, where the moon is in orbit around us, rather. Oh, this is my first time in here. Okay, so flight engineer, you can get out of the way for now. And let's see, that's Woomerang. I'm not there. Oh, these are from the various contracts. These are the places for the observational surveys of Kerbin. And yeah, they're all right around the KSC, so those might be very doable. Hey, look at those are all in a row. These are the ones that are below, and above. Okay, so yeah, the ones that are above are spread out. Alright, we'll take a look at those later. Meanwhile, moon is here, so we'll want it to be, if we were right down there, we'll basically want it to be right around here, I think. It has been a while, I don't know if you can tell. So let's see if we can just, this is probably going to time out some of those contracts, but that is okay. I can't increase this anymore. Oh. Periapsis. Did it restore some alarms from a previous mission? I think it did. That's good to know. Alright, but anyway. Moon. I can't do launch planning yet. I don't have patched conics yet, do I? Whoa, we got some lag there. Okay. Okay, patched conics are visible but not flight planning. But, you know, I can afford that, so let's do it. Maneuver tool. Okay, so I don't have the maneuver tool, but that is fine as long as I can see where I'm going. Alright, I think we want the moon to be on the horizon, and right now it's definitely under the horizon. So let's warp just a bit. Or, you know, a lot. Or, let's just try this from orbit. Yeah, here I am derping around live. But that is all right. Okay, wow, that took a long time to load, but then I get a relatively smooth frame rate. I think what changed is the Unity version. I think we're on a newer Unity version than the last time I seriously played this. Okay, so orbital 1-3. That's in there twice for some reason. So let's load it from here. And we will launch from the default launch pad. There it is. And we've got Jebediah in the pilot seat. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and just launch this thing. We will throttle up. SAS is on. And go. Immediately start pitching over. I really am looking forward to Ferrum Aerospace being updated so that I can get all of that aerodynamic information. I like being able to call out max Q, going supersonic, all that, like a real launch, you know? Like a nerd. Meanwhile, already have a very high periapsis, or apoapsis rather. Yep, it's in space. Let's stage. Much cleaner than last time. And let's cut the engine because we're already over 100 kilometers apoapsis. Oh, air is getting us. There we go. Pointing prograde. And let's go ahead and physics warp to apoapsis. I also want to get, I think I mentioned this last time, I want to get persistent rotation. Honestly, that should be a stock option there. Okay, here we are at nearly apoapsis. And throttle up again. Towards the horizon here. I think my in-game sound is probably a little bit loud, so I'll turn that down just a bit. There we go. Hopefully that will be better. If you're here and you're listening, let me know how the audio quality is and how the balance is. I'm tweaking those settings a lot, trying to find just the right settings because I can't edit this live the way that I can in YouTube. Alright, MECO and stage separation and second engine start. Pitch up just a little bit since we're past apoapsis. But I've got quite a powerful engine for an upper stage engine, at least it's not the swivel anymore. Yeah, if I can make a 100 kilometer by 100 kilometer orbit, that will make it easy to shoot for the moon. That is very elliptical, but I kind of have no choice but to keep burning, otherwise I will fall back into the atmosphere. There we go, now I'm safe. Alright, sorry about that. I had to mute for just a moment, but here we are. And let's take a look at where we are relative to the moon. So I can't make the maneuver tool so that I can't predict the orbit yet, but if I burn from this current apoapsis, that should get me across the moon's orbit right about here, which I think is going to be just about right. I might want to burn a little bit later than apoapsis. So let's go ahead and set an alarm and warp to apoapsis. All right, and here we are. Delete and close. It'll be interesting to see if whatever alarm I set last in this session shows up again next session. All right, and so now, if I go just a little bit past, that should do it. Point prograde. And full throttle. Alright, now we'll be pushing our apoapsis right towards our target there. And hopefully I will get enough science here that I can really unlock some good engines and maybe get enough money to upgrade the launch pad or the VAB and build with more than 30 parts. Gotta be careful about my fuel though. I definitely want to bring Jebediah home. 11.4 is the moon's altitude. Oh, I do have patch conics. Okay, well that will definitely be a moon encounter. Fantastic. What is my moon periapsis? 80 meters? That's pretty good. All right, fantastic. Let's go ahead and warp to the moon. Let's do it from this view because I really like to watch Kerbin recede in the distance. Hey, Ostiost, how are you doing? I am doing great today. It has been a busy and eventful day. Almost had to cancel the stream, but I really didn't want to. Fortunately, I didn't have to. Are you familiar with Kerbal Space Program? There's the moon right there. We are on approach for sure. Speed the game up just a little bit. See, I think I don't have distant objects enhancement either. I really want that because I like being able to see all the other bodies in space. Oh, that's right. We've talked about that. You play pretty much exclusively Minecraft, but you play it very well, so that is not a problem. Yeah, this and Minecraft are definitely my two favorite games. All right, we're nearly to our encounter. Once I get here, I will change spheres of influence, and the moon's gravity will be affecting me more than Kerbin's gravity. And so that's why this path is all curvy like this, because this is all relative to Kerbin, but once I'm in this sphere of influence, it'll look like a normal parabola. Alright, and there we go. I have a moon encounter, and that gives me some messages here. Explore the moon. I have completed that contract parameter. Alright, no problem, Osteos. Enjoy your lurk, and hope you enjoy. Hope you enjoy the game, that is. So that's some good money there, some good science. And a world first. More money, more science. First flyby of the moon and escaped the gravitational influence of Kerbin. Only because we're close to the moon. We haven't really escaped Kerbin's orbit. But this will bring us very close to the surface, and in fact, if I burn retrograde, I can get even closer. There's a more efficient way to do it, but I am not quite clever enough to do it without the maneuver planner. So instead, let's just pin that there. And let's go real close to the surface. Let's dip right down in there. I have enough fuel to be captured by Kerbin afterward. And let's go below 20 kilometers. That'll do it. All right, now let's go. Now I've got my periapsis now is to the moon, and that's in 2 hours. I'm not going to make you sit through that in real time, not on this stream. Though, as I've mentioned before, a real-time moon mission might be a fun thing to do at some point. I've got a really weak signal to Kerbin, but with crew on board, that is fine. I'm going to go real close. Whoop, there we go. And I'm going to do the science experiments as close to the moon as I can. Fortunately, we're looking at the night side, but moon really doesn't have a bad side. And here we are coming up on periapsis. Three minutes. And 2 minutes. We're below 25 kilometers. And here we are at 20 kilometers. I'd slow this down even more if there was more to see, but yeah, like I said, unfortunately, night side, so it's hard to see. And let's first do our antenna and our science. Material study while in space near the moon. The high radiation environment, it caused a few of the samples to glow. It looks like it would be fun to paint the rocket with this. I'm not going to do that, but I am going to keep this experiment. Pressure scan, the instrument reads 0. It's as if we were in a vacuum. It's the same vacuum as in orbit around Kerbin, imagine that. But that is a lot of science there. And collected and recorded temperature data from the environment. Someone remind me to get the community science pack because it's so much more interesting. All right, and now we've got a good view. In fact, I'm going to take a screenshot. That is pretty. Yeah, this is part of this is environmental visual enhancements, but part of it is simply the improvements that Squad has made to the textures, but that just looks beautiful. All right, let's shoot off some fireworks. There it goes. There we go. There's our patriotic American firework. Oh, the other one is not bound to a key like I thought it would be. In fact, I can't interact with it at all. Dang it. Oh, there it went. There we go. Okay, cool. Haha. No sound, of course, because we are deep in space. Nothing to carry the sound. There it goes. There's the beginning of our celebration right there. All right, let's get a crew report too before we go too far. You look down at the cold gray surface. It looks really beat up with craters. It sure does. And that I can transmit without losing any data. All right. Well, moon surface, we will definitely be back. Hopefully to leave some footprints next time. Well, it's going to be a few flights before we do that, but we will leave some footprints. Man, this is like an entirely different game from the last time I played. That is smooth and a lot more detailed. All right, but let's start heading back. All right, so there, let's get the UI back. Perfect. Okay, so we're still barely past the periapsis, and it will be another 2 hours before we escape the moon's surface. So let's go ahead, jump back into this view and enjoy the sights of the illuminated side of the moon while we leave it. From here, it looks about like how I remember. But yeah, that close-up texture is fantastic. Well done, Squad. And where are we now? We're almost out. Let's just go ahead and get back into the sphere of influence of Kerbin. Okay. And so now I've got this huge orbit, and I don't really want to force Jebediah to spend 20 days getting all the way out there. But I might have to, because Delta V, I only have 427 meters per second, and I've gotten more of a gravity boost than I anticipated. So fortunately, I don't have to worry about any sort of life support, because I don't have any life support mods installed. So I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of that. Let's close these doors. Take another crew report. In space high over Kerbin, it's very round. It looks like I've already got that one, so I'm going to reset that experiment. And let's go ahead and go to the map. And there's Minmus right there. We're not gonna get an encounter with Minmus, because Minmus will be all the way over here by the time we're out there. So let's just go ahead and warp to Apoapsis, because this is how we save our Delta V. And I'm going to take a drink. I'm already starting to get a little hoarse. And there we go. Much better. Alright, so we're already pointing retrograde. If I come out of time warp, I know this is going to automatically do it for me in a moment. I'm just going to remove the alarm, because we're close enough that it doesn't particularly matter. We've already got the periapsis pinned, so let's drop the periapsis into Kerbin's atmosphere. But not too far, because we don't want to kill Jebediah. Looks like we picked up an inclination as well. Hold on. Oh, it's just the moon. Okay. We've already been there. I don't want to accidentally... Although... Oh man, I could leave him in space for a long time just for efficiency, but I'm not going to do it. Hey, shipwreck! Oh yeah, this is the new Galacticraft. They've really given it an upgrade with the 1.17 and the new core shaders. Yeah, it's pretty great. And take a look at this. I can build really round cubes. The roundest cubes. Who said there's no such thing as a perfect circle in Minecraft? Lots of people, but they're wrong. Oh yeah, the spyglass. Let's just look through it. There we go. Alright, but I've just flown by the moon. Are you familiar with Kerbal Space Program, Shipwreck? Let's see. And if I go... Yeah, I'm going to keep burning retrograde. Not at all. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I just flew past the moon. That's Minmus. That's the second moon of Kerbin. So moon is the moon of Kerbin. And I've flown past with Jebediah Kerman, and we launched some fireworks, which are new in this update, to celebrate American Independence Day a day early in a universe where America doesn't even exist. And now we're headed back. Fortunately, I don't have to worry about life support, so I've left him in a very high orbit for almost a month. He doesn't mind. Okay, we've got 2,700 kilometers. That is yet another moon encounter if I leave it there, and I would leave. I would completely leave the orbit of Kerbin and not be able to return, so let's not do that yet. We're not ready for that. This is early game. There we go, that's looking better. 1,100 kilometers. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to get another moon encounter no matter what I do. Not ideal, but... as long as I don't hit the moon, I'll be okay. All right. Don't want to get any more fine-tuned than that from here because I've got too much of a lever if I burn from out here. So, yep, we're going to return to the moon, it looks like. Maybe I can get the in-space high crew report. Not that Jebediah is getting high. Oh, no! Okay, well, that was... that was a derp. I hit spacebar. I've been playing Minecraft all day, so I'm twitchy on the spacebar. Well, goodbye all of our fuel. It's a good thing my... oh, no. My periapsis... Where is my periapsis? Well, let's just see what happens. This is what I meant to do. I meant to go into time warp and get out of the map view so we can just watch Kerbin as we approach. So, Shipwreck, you might be here just in time for me to kill my first astronaut. Here we go. Speed it up just a little more. And in time warp, it calculates a little bit differently. Yeah, basically, it's you. You're the murderer. I'm blaming you for sure. Okay, so I don't have my moon encounter as it's currently calculating things. If I come out, okay, yep, there it is again. So let's go ahead and just come back to about here. Oh, that is a low periapsis. Okay, so he might burn up. I might burn up in Kerbin's atmosphere. I'm going to be approaching very fast. All right. Yeah, it does a lot of approximations on the calculations when I'm in time warp, and so sometimes it doesn't show the encounters I'm going to get. And that can be a problem. Let's just warp to here. Yeah, I'm going to get another gravity boost on the way home. That is not ideal. Okay, so now we're relative to the moon. And so there's my periapsis there, and I can just warp to where I'm escaping. Maybe I can. There we go. An encounter means that I am in its sphere of influence. So if I'm in the moon's sphere of influence, then the moon's gravity is affecting me more than Kerbin's gravity. So currently, it's about equal. So the moon's pulling on me as much as Kerbin is. But once I get to here, and the way that the game simulates this, which is close enough for a game like this, is it simply stops calculating Kerbin's gravity and only calculates the moon's gravity. There are some mods that'll get a lot more involved in that, and then you get some really bizarre looking orbit planning that's a lot more like what they have to deal with for actual space missions. But fortunately, I just get to do the basics of orbital mechanics, which is already enough of a challenge for me. Okay, yeah. 5.5 kilometers. I'm going to go straight into the soupy part of the atmosphere. And how much ablator do I have? Go away. Yeah, I don't have a lot of ablator because I was saving weight. So this is going to be really dicey. Do I have any fireworks left? Because they do exert force. I'm out of fireworks there. Yep. I shot all my fireworks. Well, let's just go. There's nothing else to be done about it. I can't get him back into orbit. I can't launch anything else in time to rescue him. And I can't adjust my periapsis anymore. So all I can do is take a dive into Kerbin's atmosphere. Ooh, I might be making chicken and ribs as well out of Jebediah Kerbin. Let's see, I'm out of electric charge too, just about, so yeah, we're gonna... Yep. I think I might have killed Jeb. Rip Jeb, you're a hero. I might lose all my science too, so I'll have to do the mission over again. Here we go. Let's retract the antenna just in case. Oh yeah, we are heating up fast. These exposed fireworks launchers, they are going to blow. There goes one, there goes the other. We're already a quarter through our ablator. Oh, let me turn off the aerodynamic forces overlay. We don't need that. We know where our forces are hitting. And once I run out of electric charge, I'm not going to be able to maintain this orientation very well. I remember that from last time. Okay, halfway through our ablator, we are slowing down, so we're cooling down. Okay, I think... Whew. We are going to be barely okay. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, whew, it's cooling down. I almost lost the science unit. Oh, Jeb, you're gonna live. Sorry, shipwreck. Alright, actually, with more ablator than I had last time, I must have slowed down faster, so that'll do it. Alright. Well, that's a relief. Let's get down to parachute altitude. Alright, 5 kilometers, and deploy the chutes. Well, that's interesting. That must be a bug with scatterer. Yep, that's the opposite point from the sun, so that must be where all the God rays are converging. Alright, now we'll get full deployment of the parachutes. I should get a crew report here. From this perspective, you can see the underwater topography, but it looks like it doesn't count any new science for that. So I'll just recycle that one. And through some sort of a miracle, it looks like I'm going to recover Jeb. But with all 3 parachutes out, yeah, we descend pretty slowly here. Yeah, I tweaked the settings just a little bit after the other stream, so I shouldn't have quite as much of that tiling on the ocean, but yeah, it's still funny to see the waves go crazy when I do the physics warp. Almost down, 200 meters, 150, 100 meters. Let's go back into real time here. 10 meters, and splashdown. Now, is this a new crew report? It is not. All right. Well, Jeb, welcome home. That was dicey. I mean, we were confident the whole time. Very confident. Confident that you were toast. Alright, and that's the other reason, the main reason I'm glad I recovered that, because that is a lot of science for this stage of the game. And lots of funds as well, so I can probably do some good upgrades. Vehicle assembly building, still level 1. Let's go ahead and upgrade this so that rather than 30 parts, I can build up to 255 parts, which I'm desperately going to need if I want to do any more on the moon. Research and development. Alright, so with 200, we can buy a couple of these, or one of these and both of these, which is probably what I'm going to do. Let's go ahead and get the aviation. Flight control, which will give us these better winglets. An inline reaction wheel, which is nice, and another one of these cabins that I don't really use. But it'll unlock these parts here, including the lander can, and a bigger cabin for the manned missions. In fact, I could get this now. Let's see what's available to me now that I have this tier unlocked. Big engines I could build with the Poodle, the Skipper, the Kickback. That might be how I take civilians on the high G adventures. The Bobcat and Pollux. That's the tiny one, I believe. That's relatively new. I don't think I've used that one. No, that one's huge. That one's 51 tons. Okay, propulsion systems. Oh, there's the little one. Okay, the Mite. The Baguette. The Spark. Okay, I really like these small engines for fine control on upper stages for satellites. Big fuel tanks, and I think some little ones. More stickers. Oh, I didn't put any stickers. That would be another part, though. That's why I can't do it. I can do it now. So I've got these hinges. I haven't done much with the robotics either, and that was like 2 updates ago. Let's see. Fairings. Okay, that's promising. That's very tempting. More aerodynamics. Airplane propellers. Nice. Jet engines. Circular. Okay, there's the jet engine. This is turbo shaft. Landing. Okay, so this gives me the landing struts, but I can afford this or the lander can, but not both. So we're still not going to be landing Kerbals on the moon yet. Advanced flight control, this is what we looked at before. Miniaturization, this gives me some of these deployable science, which is another feature that I have never used. Docking ports. And finally, electrics. So, oh, this gives me photovoltaic. Let's try that again. This gives me photovoltaic panels, solar panels. The Probodobodyne Octo, that's a satellite core. More batteries. I think this is what I need to go for. Dome light. Ooh. Okay, that's new. The spotlight. Okay, so they split the lights into 2 kinds. These are the lights that I'm familiar with. The Illuminator Mark 1 and Mark 2. Okay, and there's the deployable on the surface photovoltaic panel. See, I can say it first try. All right, yeah, we're going to go for electrics. And I'm halfway almost to another one of these. All right, so let's see what we can do with this. If I go to mission control... Oh, I didn't get the science data from around Kerbin. Let's do that with the satellite. I can have up to 7 contracts now. Science data from the surface of the moon is available now, from space around the moon. And tourists. Okay, so they want to orbit Kerbin and fly by the moon. I can do that. More moon exploration. If I orbit the moon and return to Kerbin, I can get 128,000 funds. Spaceos is what they should have called them. Plus all of this. Okay, and that is also 16 science. VIP on a high G adventure, and they only pay me 13,000. I mean, come on, you're a VIP. You can pay me. All right, let's take this one. Modest advance. And let's just see if I can send something to orbit around the moon. But first, I think I want some more communications. So let's put up a communication satellite. All right, so with all those manned flights, let's try an unmanned flight. So let's take... I don't need the heat shield for this. Let's keep this rocket, but start with the Probodobodyne Octo. Let's get in really close to this here. Yeah, they've improved the textures on these too, and I haven't really taken a look. Shiny. Oh yeah, I didn't pose in front of the flag for the last mission. Whoops. Terran Empire for the win. Okay. Utility. So here's the flag. Spotlight. Okay, oh yeah, and I have the crew cabin now. Science, nothing has changed there. Communication, got this high gain antenna. And antennas are a little bit odd. I haven't ever figured out exactly how to calculate range for an antenna array, so I kind of just spam them and it works. Let's see. Yeah, packet size and bandwidth, that will have a lot more to do with how much charge I need to put into my batteries to send a signal and finish sending all my science. Okay, so yeah, we've got, I think I've got, do I have a level 1 or level 2 deep space network? I'm not actually sure, so I'm going to assume level 1. So I have 500K. Okay, but this is a lot bigger. All right, enough derping around with this on stream, Dan. Let's put some solar panels on this. And let's actually go ahead and go 6-way symmetry on there. All right, it's an octo. Let's go 8-way. Ah, that's much better. And then let's pop a battery on the top. And what do we have for fuel tanks? That one's huge. Still bigger than I'd like. Yeah, I don't have the orbital maneuvering science yet, so anything that I put on this is going to be way oversized. So I think what I'm going to do is put it in orbit on a bigger stage. So I might as well put another battery on there. Electrical, there we go. And then let's get a decoupler. Oh, and do I have a service bay, but I do not have fairings yet. But this is Kerbal Space Program, so I think I can survive getting this into orbit. Instead, if I put a no there we go. In fact, let's just make this part of the nose cone. Is that the only size I have? I think it is. I don't have a smaller one. There we go. And let's go ahead and clip this in just a bit. There we go. I like that. Coupling. Alright, so let's go for... Oh, I've got an engine plate now. Alright. Let's go for that there. And this is going to be a little exposed. The aerodynamics are questionable. But without Ferrum Aerospace installed, it'll just obscure it with this and count this. I think this will be counted as if this is all shielded from aerodynamics. So that's what we're going to go with. Fuel tanks. We only need a very small upper stage for this because it is lightweight. Oh, and let's not forget our science and communication. Don't need that many. Let's do 4. And these we can clip as well. I don't like to clip things that are cheaty, like clipping engines into each other or fuel tanks into each other to get extra fuel, but stuff like this, to me it makes sense that this is essentially creating a new part. So I'm in here building these into this nose cone. There we go. Or do I want them underneath? Yeah, I want these shielded too. So let's actually build them here. Point them downward. And now I will clip them. turn off snapping. There we go. And let's rotate them just a little bit, fine tune that. Okay. All right, that is, we can pretend that's more sensible. It isn't, not by a lot, but that's what we're going with. And so now the science instruments, we can build those into the nose cone. We definitely want the computer flight unit. That is, we're going to say, built into the Octo itself, as it should be. Let's put it here. Let's see. Oh, if I put an engine on here, I'll be able to see the torque, so I can see how well balanced I am. So let's go ahead and choose an engine. We're going with the smallest one we have, the Terrier, and even that gives us an insane thrust-to-weight ratio. And this alone has 2.5 kilometers per second of delta V, which is, that's just nuts. So yeah, I don't need any more fuel in this upper stage. But the torque, oh, I don't think this is actually calculated as having mass, so no torque. I just want it invisible. And it's gone. Perfect. Let's see, what else do we want for science? Mystery goo, let's not do that. Let's just do a temperature and a pressure experiment. There we go. Put the thermometer over here and the barometer over here. All right. And still no torque. Okay, good. So now if I go back into coupling, TD12, there we go. And let's put a first stage on here. So let's go with the bigger fuel tank, and let's do 2 of those. I know I've got this rocket here, but I'm not going to need that much fancy stuff. Oh, and I almost forgot the fireworks. Should everything have fireworks? I think so. Today, everything has fireworks. All right, engines. Let's put the good old swivel on the bottom. And yeah, that is more than enough to get to orbit. And with this much solar panel and battery and these 4 antennas, this should make a pretty good communications satellite. I forget what the altitude is for geostationary on Kerbin, but I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to put this into orbit. Let's use the... do I need these? No, I've got the swivel, so let's just use the basic fins. They're cheap. And that... I got the center of mass and the aerodynamics. Yeah, we are a very stable rocket. And I get to use the launch stability enhancer. I only want 2 of them. Excellent. Drop this down, and I think this is ready to go. And I am I am notoriously bad at naming things, so this is going to be ComSat 1. And I'm going to save it. Check the staging. Yep, that should be good. We're going to leave some debris in orbit, unfortunately, but that is all right. Let's go ahead and launch. Wait, fireworks. Oh, that's huge. All right, we'll stick with the Starshot 8 for now. Oh, it's not as big as I thought. It's just close. Okay. Where do I want this? Right here, I think. Let's make sure this doesn't upset my aerodynamics. No, okay, good. Okay, so now what we've got the default orange. The trail. Let's make the trail white. can't I move this? Okay, that is all the way up. All right. Kind of a bluish white. Okay. And the burst. Oh, and we want the Whirly Trail, and we want the Kraken's Egg explosions. Okay, so the star tip, that is going to be, I keep clicking over here because I feel like that should open this up, but nope, it's this eyedropper here. Let's make a white star tip. No, let's make a red star tip. And the star end, let's make that blue. And the crackle, every time I'm clicking over there, let's make the crackle whites. And there we go. American Independence Day. Launch velocity, star size, yeah, we want the big one. Let's just put all this all the way up. Not the launch velocity or explosion delay, we want to keep them a little bit close. And there we go. Action groups. Let's only set up the fireworks. Launch. And we've got 32 each, so that is a full stack of fireworks. For those of you Minecraft players who are watching, which is both of you. All right, save it again. And I think I can put this in orbit now. I'm going to launch these before I get out of the atmosphere so we can listen to them. All right. Nice day for a launch. Turn on SAS, full throttle. Here we go. Start pitching downrange. Without a pilot, I don't have the technology to have this drone core point prograde automatically, so I'll have to just use the stability enhancement and manually point it prograde. Oh my gosh. Well, it is Kerbal Space Program. I thought about clipping those, but no, this is what we're going with. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no! Darn you, aerodynamics. That's... Oh! Okay, I've got Delta V to spare, so I might be okay. Let's just go upwards a bit. Alright. Yep, angle of attack is too high. Good thing I can spam launch ignitions. This is full dirt mode right here. Alright. Okay. Gentler angle of attack. Nope. Sigh, this might not get to orbit. Oh, and I didn't launch the things. Rip. You know what? We're gonna put this into the ocean. We're gonna try this again. I could revert the flight, but I'm not going to do that. That was a derp, and it's gonna cost me some spaceos. All right, so let's go back to the Space Center. I think if I had too aggressive an angle of attack, it was no longer shrouding my... let's recover that. It was no longer shrouding the science experiments and the satellite, and so that became a very unstable rocket after all. So what can I do about that? Let's look at payload, the service bay. And let's open it up. And what does it look like? You know what? I might be able to hide the thing in here. Let's try that. Let's turn this upside down. That's the battery. Fuel tank, decoupler. Okay, so let's take this, and can I put... Oof. I don't have a smaller decoupler than this, I don't think. Nope, TD12, 18, and 25. Okay. So let's try this. And let's see, the very... oh no, that's terrible. But I think what I can do is build the satellite inside of the service bay and open it up and expose the solar panels to the sun. So that's what I'm going to try. Let's go ahead and remove these. Whoops. Remove from symmetry. That's what I wanted. There we go. As well as this, since that will never be exposed to the sun this way, and that. Okay. All right, and now let's go ahead and clip this a little bit farther down. And let's go ahead and do our antennas like this. So if I just do 2 times symmetry, and copy that over here. Perfect. All right, let's grab the move tool and clip these in just a bit. There we go. Like that, and like that. And if I close this, what does that look like? Okay, good. We're not clipping into the service bay doors. Okay. This is more sane. Like this, like that. All right, and am I sure that this is not affecting my aerodynamics? Let's go ahead and put them up here. All right. Okay, and save and launch. And if this doesn't work, I'll put bigger fins on the bottom so that I've got more drag on the back of the rocket. All right, SAS on, full throttle, and launch. And before the aerodynamic forces get too high, let's go ahead and start pitching downrange. So far, so good. Let's shoot some fireworks. Okay, that's actually went a lot farther than I thought. All right. We are at Mach 1. And yeah, this is getting iffy. I think these are actually causing a lot more drag than was indicated in the overlay in the VAB. Let's turn this on. That's not showing a lot of drag here. It's showing the drag as expected on these fins. Alright, well, we're getting into the thin atmosphere. Okay, main engine cutoff, stage separation. Uh-oh. Second engine start. Alright, and this has enough gimbaling. Okay. I think we're okay. We are getting into the thin part of the atmosphere. Let's pitch down, get some lateral velocity. Watch our apoapsis. It's almost out of the atmosphere. Alright, now our velocity is relative to orbit instead of relative to the surface. and we're going to be just fine. So once we get past 100 kilometers, I'm going to cut the engines and launch the fireworks. There we go. And let's do a show. Awesome. Let's see. There we go. Let's turn off the overlay here. Let's shoot some more. Let's turn off SAS so we can keep spinning. Oh, we're out of the atmosphere, so no more sounds. Awesome. All right, overlay back on. And let's, before we run out of electric charge, open the service bay. Okay, world first milestones. Oh, these are old, actually. And a return trip from the moon. Yep, we know. Explore the moon. Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and cancel our rotation here. And I should have set an action group for the antennas, but that is all right. Let's see, extend antenna. Extend. Extend. And extend. Perfect. All right, we are almost to apoapsis, so I'm going to want to point prograde. Let's just see how much sun exposure we have. All right, perfect. That does count. All right, and that is keeping our electric charge at maximum. So let's go ahead and full throttle right at the horizon and watch our periapsis come up out of the atmosphere. In the meantime, we can do our contract to get science from space around Kerbal, as if we were in a vacuum. I'm gonna go ahead and transmit that. Oh, we're not in orbit. So close. Still, we fulfilled this contract. So that's some money, that's some science and reputation. And maybe if I put a booster or maybe a little more fuel after all up here, we'll be okay. Or maybe if I wasn't hauling these into space. Not the wisest, but it's what I want to do, so. Alright, let's log the temperature from the environment. Very exciting. That environment, it's got a temperature. Okay, turn off the messages there. Yep, okay, so we are gaining electric charge. Perfect. We only spent some to do the transmitting of science, so this would actually be a pretty decent communication antenna for early game if we could keep it in orbit, which we sadly cannot. So let's go ahead and just let it crash back into the atmosphere. At least not a total loss like the last one. Alright, but this is what it would look like in orbit. Kind of an extra derpy Sputnik. Alright, let's turn SAS off and let it tumble and watch the rest of its journey. Back into the atmosphere. And let's see, can I get any science out of this? The surroundings, that's different from the environment. What about temperature? The environment, that's different from the surroundings. Yeah, but I already have that data, so that is useless to me. All right, satellite, who isn't, you're useless. Let's burn you up. And then we'll launch your successor, who will be much more successful. Successful successor. Meanwhile, you'll hear me putting the lid back on my drink here, which I just finished. So I think after this, I'm going to take a very short break just to go grab another drink. Oh, we didn't burn up. No, instead we will land in somebody's backyard. Or, you know, some hobo's tent. We're still slowing down, though. I can't warp faster than this in the atmosphere. And already it's worried about the calculations here. That's why this is red. But here we go. Here comes the ground very quickly. 1 kilometer. Let's go into real time here. And smash. Oh no, no way. What? Alright, well that is what you call lithobraking, where you use the rocks to stop yourself. And yeah. Okay, we lost 2 antennas and the aerodynamic nose cone, and that's it. That's all we lost. I mean, it looks to me like we lost all the antennas, but it says we only lost 2. But you know what? I can recover this. Scrap it. And here we are. Load in, please. There we go. All right, no science earned, but we've recovered 3,000 spaceos from parts. Okay, I will be right back. I'm gonna go grab myself another drink. I don't yet have a specific be right back screen for Kerbal Space Program, but I can show off my Minecraft one. So I have this ready specifically for if I need to take a break from the stream to take care of yelling, fussing babies. All right, back with some fresh lemonade. Okay, so let's take a look at what we can improve with this rocket. Basically, we just need a little bit more delta V and a little bit more stability. So let's look at the delta V here. We've got almost 2 kilometers per second on the first stage and a little bit less on the second stage. So if I take these basic fins off and replace them with something a little bit more hefty. Okay, and yeah, that costs us a significant amount of delta V because those are much bigger and add a lot more drag, which is by design because that is how we get a stable rocket. So let's see. We've only lost, we've lost 100 meters per second off of the first stage. But that might be just fine. Let's add just a little bit of fuel here. Okay, that brings us almost to 4 kilometers per second again. And yeah, so now actually I think we have more than we did before. And we're going to be more stable. Center of mass, aerodynamics, all the way down there. Okay. And yes, I'm going to keep the fireworks. Alright, just for a little bit more margin though, let's add a little bit more fuel here on the top. Just in case. And yeah, that gives us 4,300 meters per second. Excellent. Alright, so let's save that and launch. I want these actually over here. Alright, there we go. Save and launch. I didn't set up a new action group for the antennas again, but that's alright. They're easy enough to catch with the mouse. Alright, here we go. Yeah, this is... I like this better. It doesn't actually matter because I don't immediately start pitching downrange. Oh, let's double check the staging. We are good. Alright. Throttle up. SAS is already on. And launch. We're going to pitch downrange early. Yeah, look how much more stable that is. It's bouncing right towards prograde. Alright. Now, we've got the swivel engine gimbaling to counteract the aerodynamics. So we're going to be pulling the prograde marker towards our thrust vector here. And that is exactly what we want for early in the launch. Actually, there we go. Very gentle angle of attack this time. And let's go ahead and shoot some fireworks. Nice. Okay, we're approaching main engine cutoff. And we've got a pretty good speed, and we're getting out of the thick part of the atmosphere. We're well past max aerodynamic pressure. And we have MECO, stage separation, and immediately we're tumbling. Let's second engine start and get right... there we go, right into the prograde vector. Yeah, this stage is problematic. Good thing I've got some extra fuel on it now. But it looks like a little cannon. Little cannon with wheels. I mean, technically it's a cannon because I can do this. There they go. Oh wow, those sounds conflict. It stops the engine sound to do the fireworks sound. That's hilarious. Alright, as soon as I am at 100 kilometers again, I'm going to cut the engine. And there we go. Alright, once again, let's get a spin going. Turn off SAS and the overlay, and let's shoot our fireworks. Alright, get some screenshots. And technically, we are spin stabilized now. If I turn on this engine, the spin will counteract any sort of torque that we've got. But I don't really want to be spin stabilized because I want finer control and I want to be able to pitch over. So here we go. Stability assist, canceling out the spin. And we have almost 2 minutes to apoapsis, so I'm going to go ahead and warp. 1 minute, 30 seconds. All right, and that will do. Let's go ahead and throttle up and point prograde. And this time, see our horizontal speed 1300, and we have another kilometer. Okay, yep, this will get us to orbit. Let's, before I forget, we have plenty of electric charge, but it is going down, not up, so let's open this. And now it's going back up. Let's extend our antennas. Okay, yep, we are in orbit. I do want to circularize it a bit. So in another 10 minutes, we'll be at apoapsis. I'm going to extend the antennas. Extend. extend, and extend. All right. Yep, no shots left. I have fired all the shots. And let's go ahead and warp to apoapsis. Delete and close. All right, and then we're going to point prograde again. And just a little bit of thrust. See if we can get this a circular orbit. And there it is. All right, yep, periapsis 132, apoapsis 135. That is close enough. Very, very low eccentricity there. And now I have my first communication satellite. I don't think it's going to boost my range by that much, but it will at least be something. All right. And it is the first thing I'm going to leave in orbit. I'm going to get a little bit of a kick from the stage separation here, but here we go. Yep, apoapsis went from 135 to almost 140. And it looks like a TIE fighter from here. Still kind of a cannon. Okay. And that is the first 2 objects in space, actually. Let's go ahead and give it just a little bit of a spin. It won't keep it because I don't have persistent rotation on or installed. It's not ready for yet for Kerbal Space Program 1.12, but I'm just going to say it's spinning in space. Let's just get a view of it on the illuminated side of Kerbin. We've got mountains poking through the clouds here. That's pretty wild. Okay, here we go. We've even got the music. There we go. That's a nice screenshot. All right, ComSat 1, this is where we leave you. Let's go back to the Space Center. And hydrate. Perfect. All right, what are our available contracts? Active, we only have explore the moon. We want to orbit the moon and return to Kerbin. Does it have to be a manned spaceflight? We want to know what shades of green we'll see if we expose a Kerbal to high G forces. So that sounds to me like it has to be manned. It doesn't say so. It isn't personal, it's science. We can't just leave vessels in the orbit of the moon forever. Those things are expensive. Return one to Kerbin. I literally just tossed one into the ocean. So, alright, well, let's go ahead and we can play with a whole lot more parts than before. So, let's make something with a pretty good amount of delta V. Let's just get rid of all that. Let's start with our orbital 1.3, and let's make orbital 2. I am open to suggestions for better naming of my craft. I am terrible. Terran Empire. All right. How much science do I have? Can I even see from here? I can't. It's not enough to unlock anything though, so I'm not going to worry about it. But this vessel on its own, I think, should be perfect for this. As long as let's add some batteries to it though, because this is not stable if I run out of electric charge. So batteries and solar panel. Let's just add one. Let's add two. And this will technically put us slightly off balance, but it won't be by much, and we'll be able to counter it with our engines. Let's see. There we go. That should work fine. Okay, yeah, we have 5 kilometers per second delta V. I would like a little more on the first stage. Let's do it by adding more boosters. So these are the Thumper, and I'm using the huge ones because I didn't have the parts for, let's see, we have 1,800 out of 5,000. Oh, let's go into build mode. Let's use hammers. And if I put 4 of them down here, what do I get? A whole lot less delta V in the first stage out of the same amount almost total. And that just shows how much more effective it is to burn outside of the atmosphere than in it. Let's see. Yeah, I guess I do 4 Thumpers. Alright, let's pick that up. Let's put the decoupler here at the top and then shift these down for stability. There we go. Put nose cones on top. Alright, now... Okay, now I have a significantly more overall, but less in the first stage because I'm going to be fighting gravity a whole lot less efficiently, but with a whole lot more thrust. In fact, what if I thrust limit these so that I don't subject Jeb to 6.5 Gs of force? Yeah, now without any throttling here, he'll only go up to 4 Gs of force, and I don't lose any of my delta V. Alright, let's put some struts on here for stability. Actually, no, let's go ahead and just auto strut this, because that is a lot more reliable. Let's go to grandparent part. Perfect. Oh, and we have better fins available, although this is going to hurt us with delta V, but not by a lot. Okay. And what if... Can I stage these? I don't think I can stage these. That is a shame. Yeah, I really want to stage these with the fireworks and see if I can use the fireworks to push them away. But nope, not today. Engines, I don't have any Separatrons yet. But I think with this extra 700 milliliters, no, 700 meters per second delta V, I think I can get Jebediah to orbit around the moon and back. More fuel? Let's see what happens. Just a bit more fuel on the top stage. Oh yeah, that's a huge difference. Yeah, let's do that. Launch stability enhancers. Let's put 1 on each of the boosters here. And check staging. I think we're good. Oh, let's do more ablator. I guess we'll try to save you better this time, Jeb. All right. Orbital 2. It's not really different enough to call it Orbital 2. Should I call it 1.4? I think I should. All we've really done is stretch the upper stage and add 2 more boosters. So it's Orbital 1.4. All right, you ready to go to the moon? Let's go. Take a sip of my lemonade while we wait. All right, and we are ready for launch. SAS on. Throttle up. And let's go. Pitch down range. A little bit more than this. We're going to waste a lot of delta V if I don't pitch farther here. But I also don't want to go too fast while we're still in the thick part of the atmosphere. That should be pretty good. Especially with these bigger fins, we are very stable here. What does this look like? Now we got thrust. And not a ton of drag, but it is enough to keep us stable. Meanwhile, Jeb is pushing 4 Gs right about now. In fact, he's pushing more Gs than I was led to believe. Lies. 6 Gs. Sorry, Jeb. Alright, we have SRB burnout and SRB separation. Almost a Korolev cross. Alright, oh, and we are already very high with our apoapsis. This is a very inefficient burn. That's alright, we will go ahead and let's go ahead and let's shoot our... No, let's save our fireworks for the moon. Let's go ahead and warp all the way to apoapsis. 1 minute. 10 seconds. And Jeb can point prograde all on his own, so let's go ahead and have him do it. And full throttle. Alright, here we come on main engine cutoff. MECO, stage separation, and second engine start. Let's go ahead and go back to stability assist and stay on the horizon. Straighten out our inclination just a bit here. Alright, and we're actually in a pretty good spot. If I burn right about here, I'll be able to push the apoapsis right to a moon encounter. Minimus is actually easier, even though it's much farther out. It's got an inclination, but its gravity is so low that it is easy to land and just sit on the engine bell. But we're going to do moon first, especially since that's what we have contracts for. Hopefully, I'm a little bit dubious at this point, but hopefully I have enough to get captured into orbit and then leave. I'm starting to think not. But if nothing else, we'll get some science around the moon in space high. Alright, we have orbit. And yeah, that's just going to get more and more eccentric. Okay, so if I go here... Wait a second. I thought I didn't have this tool. Maybe I do, and I misread that? Alright, well, let's use it. Let's plan our maneuver. Okay, but that's how well I eyeballed it. Right there. Okay, let's see if I can get something efficient here. I don't need an amazing orbit, I just need an orbit. Okay, so that is that's most of our delta V right there. What if I am not very familiar with using this tool, actually. I might have to learn that. Maybe off camera. I'm not going to do this playthrough except in stream, but I might learn some of the features. We'll see. So many games to play, so little time. But if I go in front of the moon, it should slow me down. But I don't think that's doing what I want it to. Alright, so if I add a maneuver here, and I go retrograde, how many meters per second delta V is that? Is it going to tell me? Can I get it up on my maneuver? Because that's an orbit. Alright, this is worth trying. Okay, I'm going to try this maneuver here. So the node is in 3 minutes and burn time is 37 seconds. So I can warp to it with the alarm, or I can just do this manually. Let's do it manually. And Jeb can't quite, he can't point towards the maneuver node on his own, but that's alright, I can. So we want half of the burn time, which is about 18 seconds, and we'll go full throttle. And we'll very carefully watch what our orbit does. I think I just barely want to get into the influence of the moon. Alright, so far so good. We're very low on fuel. Jeb, if I get you stuck, I will send a rescue mission and get them stuck. Alright, let's go ahead and cancel the maneuver here and then just very carefully nudge. Just nudge it, just barely touch the moon's sphere of influence. There it is. Alright, so now, at moon periapsis, if I add a maneuver here, how much delta V do I need to get into orbit? A lot, but I have enough. Okay, I think... Alright, I think I'm going to do this. Alright, so I can get into orbit, and then since I'm only barely getting into orbit, I can easily get back out. And then from a very high altitude, I should be able to, with very low delta V, dip my periapsis back into Kerbin's atmosphere. So I think, with only 448 meters per second left, I think I can do this. So, let's see, the maneuver is in 1 day and 2 hours. Let's go ahead and warp. Let's get our good view, though. Sunset on Kerbin, and then already it is sunrise. Right about now. Alright, let's speed this up. There goes Kerbin, and where's the moon? Right there. 5 hours. 4 hours. 3 hours. 2 hours. Okay, let's go ahead and use the alarm tool. And let's warp to the maneuver. Yep, 2 hours. Let's warp. Alright, now we are in Moon's sphere of influence, and so that's what we're looking at here. And if we... Yeah, it's telling me I'm going to get back there. Oh no, if I leave the Moon's sphere of influence, I'm going to be in this orbit. If I do the maneuver, I will be in this orbit. Node is in 9 minutes, and we only need to burn for 9 seconds, so I'm actually going to burn longer than that at a much lower thrust for the sake of precision. And I don't actually need the maneuver node because all it is retrograde. So I'll just have Jeb point retrograde. Okay, and let's go ahead and do it. Low thrust, we're at 30% thrust. Let's go a little bit more. Alright, now this moon escape is going to continue to go outwards until it is a circle, and we are captured in orbit. And there it is. And I have 230 meters per second to spare. Alright, we've got new alerts. For the first milestones, we have entered orbit of the moon. And a stable orbit has been achieved, and Mission Control is still debating the best way to get you back home. You packed a toothbrush, right? No? But I think we're going to be able to do this. Alright, so let's go ahead and get some science. From space, high around the moon. Uh-oh. I've got two bots. Alright, you banned, and you banned. Alright, so now we've got crew report. You look at the surface of the moon and try to find a good landing space. The inside of the craters might be the best option. Let's go ahead and transmit that. Let's see, I should turn so that my solar panels are facing the sun. There we go. Alright, so now, do I still have my, my action groups? And there's the antenna, and our science experiments. Excellent. Okay, material study while in space high over the moon. The high radiation environment caused a few of the samples to glow. It looks like it would be fun to paint the rocket with this. I already know that. Alright, let's keep the experiment because we get the most science that way. It's as if we're in a vacuum. Imagine that. Oh, here we go. Measuring the temperature of space appears to be quite impossible as there is no matter around to be either hot or cold except the spacecraft and the thermometer itself. This is probably going to give the R&D guys something to think about for a while. They've already been thinking about this, so nothing new, but we're going to keep the experiment. And to celebrate a successful mission around the moon with the Terran Empire flag visible, let's go ahead and launch some fireworks. Oh, that's right. They're not in the same action group. All right, but let's do this. Take that, moon. And let's do a spin. Just fire them all. There we go. Beautiful. And silent. Alright, well, let's take a look. I think the quickest way to go is just from right here. Let's go prograde and escape the moon's sphere of influence now. And there it is. And as soon as we are out, we'll be at apoapsis. So that will be ideal. Let's go ahead and leave now. Let's just warp. There we go. And now we want retrograde because now we're relative to Kerbin. So retrograde to Kerbin is the same as prograde was to the moon in that orientation. So let's go ahead and pin that and take a look at our periapsis. All right, that's 440 kilometers. 100 kilometers. All right, and now we are in the atmosphere. Relatively safe height. Let's go ahead and go to about 40. Okay. All right, we did it with 76 meters per second to spare. I mean, we used more than we technically needed to just to get captured, but I don't want to keep going around and around and around, letting the atmosphere slow us down to orbit. So let's go ahead and goodbye, moon. There's Kerbin. And let's go. Coming closer. And I'm going to use the last little bit of fuel to slow down a bit once we get to the atmosphere and I ditch the stage. And we have entry interface now. Alright, so retrograde still set. Last remaining fuel. gone. All right, let's go to stability assist and point radial out. Stage separation. Oh, no. Let's point retrograde again. Let's close those doors. I almost just lost the science bay. All right, this time we have plenty of electric charge because we had solar panels, which we are likely to lose. But that is okay, we don't need them anymore. I've got the battery poking through there. Oops. Lost our antenna. We didn't need it. Not anymore. Alright, Jeb. I really want to get those re-entry particles back. I'm waiting for some of those more visual mods to be updated to 1.12. Although it probably already works. I don't think anything has changed since 1.10 or 1.11 that will break it. Alright, while you're burning up, I'm going to take some refreshing lemonade into my face. Sorry, Jeb, I didn't pack any for you. Not sure if they even have lemons on Kerbin. This might be a planet entirely devoid of lemonade. Do they have beer on Kerbin? I hope they do. Otherwise, poor guys. I don't want to go to Kerbin if they don't have beer there. Alright, we're halfway through our ablator. And let's take a look. Yeah. Single pass capture. And I think we're going to land at night again, as is my habit. Alright, we're 2/3 through the ablator. We'd have run out if I hadn't put more in. It looks like this particular approach, since I spend a lot more time in the atmosphere rather than diving right down in, actually uses more ablator, and that's why I ran out last stream, but not on the previous manned mission. So that is good to note. Although that steeper approach definitely is harder on the pilot with the G-forces. Alright. Coming out of plasma blackout. How are you doing, Jeb? 2 Gs of force. Not too bad. Okay, we're over the grasslands, flying high, but it is definitely nighttime. And is there a crew report I can get here that I don't already have? No, there is not. Sad day. Alright, I'm curious to see how much science I have. I'm pretty sure I can unlock at least one more technology after this mission. There's only 12 minutes left, though, so I'm not sure we're going to land, but we did get into orbit around the moon. We shot fireworks for Independence Day for a country that doesn't exist in this universe. I'm not playing a real solar system or a realism overhaul, so no, there is no Earth. Alright, we're at 13 kilometers. Flying low. Let's try another crew report. Oh, good. Okay. Hey, I can see my house from here, I think. I don't think you can. Antenna was destroyed, so I can't transmit. I'll just keep it. Alright, and we're 8 kilometers above the surface. 7 kilometers. 6 kilometers. 5 kilometers. 4 kilometers. Let's go ahead and deploy the chutes and turn off SAS, since these will keep us relatively stable now. 2.5 kilometers. 2 kilometers. Alright, we're going to get full deploy of parachutes. Let's speed the game up just a little bit until we get down to the ground safely. Because, yeah, we're going rather slow. 700 meters. $600 meters. 500 meters. 400. 300. Maybe I lose the top parachute. Come down just a little bit harder, but I also don't want to. I don't want to lose my science module. 150 meters. 100. All right, let's go back to real time here. Don't want to miss any calculations while we're settling on the surface. There we go. Safely out. Okay, so grasslands. Do I have an EVA report here? Nope. Okay. And as we've discussed in previous streams, a spacesuit was absolutely necessary to get here the way we did, because otherwise, I mean, you did spend some time in space. Let's see. I don't think I can get back in if I go onto the surface, so I'm going to forego a surface sample and just board and recover. All right, and while we wait for the Space Center to come back, another sip of my lemonade. It is a hot day here, and it will be for the foreseeable future. All right, okay, this is great. 111 science earned. And, oh, he got an experience point from orbiting the moon. Fantastic. So let's go ahead and spend that science. All right, so what do we want? There's heavy rocketry with its big engines, propulsion systems with its small engines. I think I definitely want propulsion systems. And fuel systems has these giant fuel tanks. Where do I get the small fuel tanks? These are the RCS tanks. Advanced construction, maybe? Oh, fairings. And more stickers. Servos and hinges. Okay, this this unlocks the most fun stuff. That unlocks the most useful stuff. Miniaturization. We get a littler decoupler. Space exploration. Let's see, advanced flight control. This gives us some RCS thrusters, so that's good. Landing. Bigger heat shields. I don't need those yet. A bigger parachute. The landing leg is the big deal here. Whew, okay. Alright, I think what I'm going to go for... I can already get to the moon. The big deal now is putting stuff in precision orbits, and advanced construction gives me fairings and also some of these robotic parts. So I think that's what I'm going to go for. And that, I'm down to 1 science. Let's just take a sneak peek at the contracts available. None are active because I have completed everything that I've accepted. Science data from space around the moon, that's easy. Let's go ahead and accept it. We get a small advance. And from the surface of the moon, well, that's our next goal, is the surface of the moon, so let's do it. And anything else interesting here? Rendezvous 2 vessels in orbit of Kerbal. Well, this one... Does this one... Okay, so the offer expires, but I don't think that the actual mission itself expires. All right, let's not do that until I've actually unlocked the docking technology. So I'm not going to do that yet. I'm just going to pick up these two that are science data from on and around the moon. And considering that there's only 5 minutes left in the plan for the stream, I think I'm going to go ahead and cut it off there because there's definitely not time to do the next mission. So if you guys are still here, Osteos and Shipwreck, thank you for joining. And sorry to miss your follows last time. I noted it at the beginning of the stream here, but I don't think you were here yet. So thanks for the follows. I'm working on overlays and some of the fancier stuff. I don't want it to be too distracting, but I want something so that I can see and viewers can see if anyone actually decides to follow or anything else. So yeah, thanks for joining. We made it to the moon. We shot fireworks for American Independence Day, and I'm calling that a complete success. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to see if I can help my wife with anything and then maybe go back to joining Bruno on day one of his new SMP. See you guys later.